Adventure families. Today we will be learning about how to teach an adventure class for the Adventure Club. We will be focusing on the Little Lambs class, which is a class for 4-year-old boys and girls. We will be using some of the ideas that you can find in the Little Lambs Leader's Guide, as well as some new games and crafts. Today we will be focusing on the Woolly Lamb Star, which is the first star and one of the first requirements that from the book. This star has 4 requirements to be able to complete, which is read a book about lambs, say 3 things you learn about lambs, play a game about lambs, and do a craft about lambs. As you can see, there are 4 easy steps that can be made into lots of fun for the children to learn. The first thing that the book suggests is to use a lamb puppet to bring the children to the classroom. You can use a lamb puppet or a stuffed animal lamb. Any one will work. And you will be using this to call the children into class, have them sit down, and start by saying the adventure pledge, the adventure law, singing the adventure song, and having a word of prayer. After you are done with that, we usually like to start our class by reading a Bible story or having a small devotional that has to do with what we are talking about that day. In this instance, for example, it would be about lambs. So we would use the story of the Lord is my shepherd, or you could also use the story of the little lost sheep. Or you could also, another idea is using your Sabbath school books, where in this one in particular, you can find the story of the little David boy. You could also use this little magazine that has a lot of cute stories that you can use as devotionals. So any story that you find would be good. Then we like to have a game. This game, we actually use it, and then we continue to use it in every class, which is a game of finding the lambs. I bought these lambs from the dollar store. If you can't find them, you could print some out. And I laminated them so they could last longer. And what I do is hide them around the room and then ask the children to bring the lamb to the middle. Here is what one of the suggestions that the book says: to make a craft out of a paper plate and add cotton balls to make a lamb. You can do something like this, or you could use a paper roll to make a lamb, or you could make a lamb face mask. There are many ideas in the book as well as online. Another thing that the book suggests is getting pairs of mommies and baby animals and have the children bring them together to match. Again, you can use pictures if you have. You can use magazine cutouts, or you can print them. I usually like to laminate them so that they can be used more than once. Another game that the book suggests is having stuffed animals and putting them inside a pillowcase, and then having each child pick one out and pretend to be an animal, and the other children will guess what the animal is. Another fun game that you can use is blow up a white balloon and add a little lamb face, or you can draw it, and you could do a lot of balloons and give the children either a soft noodle or a soft badminton racket or a fly swoosher, and have the children try to corral the lambs into a specific place. This is usually really fun and the children really enjoy it. As always, try to bring something for the children to touch and feel. Here I have a piece of real lamb wool that I got at a farm so they can feel it, or you could bring some yarn. And here's a little book that you can use, this one that they sell at the ABC, or you could get your own book from the library that has facts about lambs and baby sheep, and you could read it to the children so they can learn some interesting things. Thank you for joining, and hope this helps. You gave your Adventure Little Lamb class.